What's up? This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible today and Non-Fungible tomorrow. And guys, get ready for another volatile week because there's a lot going on this week. And one of the biggest things that really happened here in Asia is actually in Hong Kong, which is Hong Kong unveils policy to develop virtual asset industry, challenging Singapore for hub status. For those of you who do know, I'm actually based in this city. And to be very honest, as someone who's in this city, I have been witnessing a lot happening in the city. There was this political thing. A lot of people left. There was this, COVID lockdowns and stuff like that. And a lot of expats left because back then when you have to, exit Hong Kong and go back to the city, you'll have to quarantine for like 3 weeks or something like that. So a lot of expat left. And also a lot of them left to Singapore because of, less, strict COVID policies. Because Hong Kong for a time was a zero COVID policy, but now this has been changed. But at the same time, because of these type of stuff that's happening within the city for the past 3 or 4 years, some crypto companies left Hong Kong as well. Before, actually, if you do not know, FTX, and actually talking about FTX, it was such a interesting weekend for FTX, especially for Sam Bankman-Fried. His talk on the Bankless show. And also how Eric, talked about, crypto and stuff like that, which is very impressive. Definitely, guys, check out my Twitter. I always tweet interesting stuff, which is always live, better than these videos. But anyways, talking back, FTX used to have the HQ here in Hong Kong, but then they left. But today in the Fintech Week, what happened is that Hong Kong Chief Financial Secretary kind of did the opening remarks, and then he said Hong Kong will introduce a new licensing regime for virtual asset providers and tokenization of green bonds while allowing retail investors to trade digital assets. So you've been watching my channel. I have previously interviewed Legal Cat, who very nicely shared with us about the Hong Kong licensing regime. Back then the old law was that on March, in order for you to trade, in order for you to run an exchange, you need to get licensed, and in order for you to get a license, one of the criteria is that in the early stages, you cannot provide service to retail investors. Only institutional investors could use your service, right? So it basically shuts the door for a lot of retail investors, but now it seems like this has changed, right? So Hong Kong has proposed a range of measures to develop the virtual asset industry to promote the city as an international cryptocurrency hub, as it's viewed with Singapore's The Crown, vice to Singapore The Crown. So there is actually a new policy thing, and our policy stance on virtual asset is now clearly communicated to global markets, and it serves to demonstrate our commitment and determination to explore financial innovations together with the global virtual asset community. Okay, so that says the financial secretary. They will introduce a new licensing regime. Hopefully, next year, March, Hong Kong people, even retailers can actually trade, right? They will actually look at how to develop exchange-traded funds for virtual asset, which is kind of interesting. While the HKMA will work on regulatory regime on stablecoins, cryptocurrency pegged to another stable asset. Okay, so I think. And they will also issue green bond tokenization and the e-Hong Kong dollar, which is one of the biggest key thing here, right? China has been trying to issue the digital yuan, right? But, in terms of the interoperability or cross-border payment, the yuan is actually kind of hard to achieve this because the young, exports and stuff like that is actually being controlled by the Chinese government. So one of the ways to circumvent this is actually through Hong Kong as an international financial center. Hong Kong dollars, they could use that in order to kind of, for overseas trade, right? So that's why Hong Kong was one of the biggest import and exports, re-export hubs, right? So now it seems like the government is trying to develop this e-Hong Kong dollars. And I think to a certain extent, this is actually showing how, Hong Kong could be used as a hub by China to kind of facilitate overseas trade using their digital asset, but not necessarily the digital yuan, okay? So there is this huge macro thing that is happening here as well. Agent Jen was actually at the Fintech Week today as well, talking about virtual asset and also Greater Bay Area cross-border blockchain and stuff like that. So I want to go through here, and there's this new policy statement on development of virtual asset in Hong Kong. So basically, what can we say, right? It shows that the government is kind of opening up this whole new place. They are going to look at property rights of token asset, okay? They are going to look into the stable coins and also what has they learned from the crypto winter. But the thing is, does it mean it's gonna be opening up to all? Not necessarily, right? Because they're saying that they're gonna follow international standards, right? So it really depends on what central banks and international you know entities think about this, right? So they talked about how they're gonna NFT issue for Fintech Week as a proof of concept to engage the community, to come up with green bond tokenization, Hong Kong dollars. So these are the pilot project, and then some conclusions that hopefully with Hong Kong's first world-class international financial infrastructure, legal and regulatory regime, we aim to promote the sustainable development of financial service across the whole value chain of virtual asset, right? Covering issuance of virtual asset, tokenization, trading and settlement, platform financing, asset management and custody, right? So it'll be interesting to see because Singapore is actually doing a lot on their own side, and also the Singapore NFT community is quite strong. So we'll see how it goes. This FinTech Week is happening for the week. So we'll see if there's more and more people are going to speak about this. I'm definitely sure that the government here in Hong Kong has been speaking with digital asset providers to kind of think about how to bring this plan together, right? So anyways, moving on to traditional market, Europe inflation is actually at 10.7, which is a record high. So it's really interesting to see how the market keeps rallying and rallying right now in the crypto market. Because it feels to me right now it's very unstable. But then we do have the midterms coming out. And also, if you look at this, for this week, we have a lot of big things coming up. Tomorrow, we have the PMI numbers. And then on Wednesday, we have the FOMC statement. Okay, so tomorrow, the FOMCs are going to have a meeting. And then they're going to have a statement on Wednesday. And this is definitely going to affect the markets, right? Usually, that is what happens, right? And then on Friday, you have the unemployment rates, non-farm employment change. A lot of numbers are showing that the employment market is actually softening right now in the US, so just FYI. And actually there was this talk about how BlackRock thinks that I think it was next week. Next week is actually the midterms. No, next week is actually midterms. Next week is actually the FOMC rate hike. A lot of people are saying that it's going to be 75 basis point. BlackRock says so, and a lot of people are thinking that actually this rate hike might not affect the market that much because it has been priced in, because it has already been a few months since the last rate hike, right? But at the same time, BlackRock, according to this article, is saying that stock usually do well after midterms, not this time forecast BlackRock, right? So BlackRock is trying to say that in the past, with the midterms election fast approaching on November 8th, surely we have politicians to help us, right? But according to the BlackRock chief investment strategist, he believes that this might not happen, right? Because gridlock, so stocks tend to do well after US midterms because gridlock is a common result that prevents policy change that could rise to the market. However, right now we see a bigger problem with stocks than any potential positive from the midterm election outcome, a looming recession, right? So yeah, and also the housing market is going down right now, and it's gonna come up very soon, right? So in general, I do think that we're kind of having like a bear market rally. Because if you look at this, right, Bitcoin now is at 20,736. It's just pumped up. Ethereum is all up, and Tether is actually going. Oh, it kind of makes sense because people are buying crypto, not holding stable coins, right? Binance is actually doing quite well because of the Twitter arrangement and stuff like that. And also Binance is saying that they're hoping explore Twitter and also seeing whether what could be done for them to support them on cryptocurrencies, right? I also retweeted this, okay? So I'm not going to show the video here. Just check out my tweets. So follow me on Twitter, Non-Fungible TC. So stable coins now is kind of steady, which basically means that there is a balance in terms of trading with crypto and also stable coins, right? Usually when stable coins go up, it means that people are likely selling the crypto. But then if it goes down, it means that either mean that people are buying crypto, or it could also mean that the overall market cap is going down. But yeah, a lot of bullishness for Dogecoin because of the whole Elon Musk thing. I talked about Elon Musk's potential plan a while back on one of these daily episodes, and it seems like Chili's and also Algorand is rallying, and one of the reasons for that is actually the World Cup is coming soon, and therefore soccer-related narratives are pumping those tokens. So to a certain extent, for me, I've seen this before, right? Last time in the bull market, when these Dogecoin, these meme coins starts pumping, these altcoins start pumping, it is almost like a hint that we are close to the top, right? It's not necessarily the top. We could still go higher. We have the midterms, and then we could have a Christmas rally. We do not know, right? Not financial advice, but it really shows you that the market is irrational again, and there is sideline liquidity. Okay, so usually as fast as it goes up, as fast as it goes down. So moving on, our crypto market cap, we are at 983 billion. If you look at this, Bitcoin dominance is going down, so it means that all coins are strong right now, okay? Nansen, if you look at this USDT and USDC, you know, the top two traded in the last 24 hours. So to a certain extent, maybe people are selling crypto and holding stable coins, like smart money is doing this, right? You look at this, Terra co-founder Do Kwon faces 57 million class action lawsuit in Singapore. Ethereum founder, seeing how Sam Bankman-Fried has been debating with a lot of people, you know, himself jumped into the debate saying that he shouldn't be on the sidelines, but he did mention that we shouldn't be enthusiastically pursuing institutional capital because there is still so much to work on for this ecosystem. He said something like that. Yeah, I think so. Dogecoin up 94% because of this Elon Musk acquisition of Twitter, and also people are speculating what Elon Musk is going to do with Dogecoin and stuff like that. So this one, I do want to bring this to your attention. So I talked about Core Scientific shares a while back about how they you know, could potentially default on the you know, debts and stuff like that. Their shares fell 15% on Friday, and the reason why I want to share this with you is that, you know, Core Scientific is actually a very big Bitcoin miner, right? And if they have to explore bankruptcy, there's a chance that they might have to sell the asset, right? And if they do have to sell the asset, will it cause another cascading effect that we saw for the Luna crash, okay? Just FYI. So in terms of NFT news, Blur, a lot of trading volume, okay? Also trading strong over the weekend. Dapper Lab behind CryptoKitty and Barry Top Shot announced Dapper Creator to put Web3 in the hands of creators. You know, Crypto Dickbutt, you know, saw after Elon Musk posted this reply to someone else on Twitter. So floor price went from 1.9 ETH to 2.9 ETH. A lot of irrational stuff happening in this space. I think that is pretty much. Oh, Digidagaku had a free airdrop, and there is also one thing. Our Planet Review floor price doubled from 0.6 to 0.12 ETH. So a while back, I did a video about KP hours, and the mint date is actually up now. I think it's somewhere November the 3rd. No details yet, but you know, just definitely check it out if you are filling the form, if you are a keeper, or you know, and if you do have the chance to mint, check out, because they released it to trailer, which is actually pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to see the full version. So sorry guys, not a lot of preparation today. I actually have a meeting in 28 minutes. Super busy at work, but still doing this episode. So this is your host Non-Fungible TC. If you appreciate this, like and subscribe and share this with your friends. Follow me on Twitter for the latest update. Signing out.